take a look at this. Elon Musk donates $2 billion of Tesla stock to charity, but you may be surprised to learn the charity that he donated that Tesla stock to. If you're watching me for the first time, stay tuned as I will reveal that later in this episode. But before getting to all of that juicy details, let's take a look at this. We now have a new CEO of Twitter. Take a look. It's absolutely beautiful. Elon Musk tweeting this out. He's great with numbers. He also liked a tweet that I made about this, which I happen to enjoy a lot because he gets the meme reference. He gets the joke. You can see if we scroll down a little bit and see the tweet he liked. It is this one right here. I said, breaking news, Elon Musk has officially brought in his dog Floki as the new CEO of Twitter. We are in good paws. Elon Musk, he gets the joke. We're in good paws. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's nice to finally have a CEO we can trust. A CEO that we know is going to do a good job, good with numbers, good with everything, way better than the former guy, obviously. You can see much CEO, much numbers, but of course, we have an interview with him today, so let's go ahead and start the interview. There he is right there. So, Floki, I'm curious, how'd you get the job at Twitter? What are your plans for the future? I'd love to know.
Yes, Matt, that's correct. I got the job here at Twitter because I'm extremely good at so many different things, from finding bones, fetching tennis balls, to analyzing graphs and data and coming up with extreme plans that take a lot of complex numerical information to be able to come up with precise business measurements of how we can make Tesla and Twitter and SpaceX and all these other companies I'm helping to manage as the #1 companies in the world.
Wow, it sounds like you really know what you're doing over there. So here's another question. Are you going to be accepting Dogecoin over there at Twitter? I mean, there's been a lot of talk about it. I imagine that would be on your top priority list.
Well, yes, Matt, of course. It's up there on our priorities toward #1. In fact, I would even say it's every single one of our priorities, 1 through 69, is accept Dogecoin, even all the way down to 420. Accept Dogecoin is a lot of those priorities. Now, in the spare time I have between taking baths and eating food out of my bowl, I happen to enjoy playing with Dogecoin, spending Dogecoin. I'm one of the largest. I mean, I may look like a dog, but don't be fooled. I'm actually one of the largest Dogecoin whales, and I happen to have quite a bit of investment in the future currency for Dogecoin. So I'm going to be very happy to bring that on in the company for years to come. A lot to look forward to there.
Wow, I mean, seriously, this guy's impressive. I can't say we could have had a much of a better CEO than this. So thank you, Elon Musk, for putting your dog Floki as the CEO, and you can see the board there. Elon Musk retweeting. Pretty funny. The board of Twitter is now Elon Musk's dog, Floki, as the CEO, of course, and of course Elon Musk's son, X. Now we have the full army of Dogecoin whales there as the current administration for Twitter. Happens to be a lot of fun to see. Dogecoin, by the way, take a look at this. A nice spike over the last few days. Look at that. Beautiful. You can see Dogecoin following the trend line very nicely here. We are in an upward swing right now, and we can target 11 cents by the end of the month. And we can target a spike before the end of the year. We're looking at a spike for Dogecoin to hit $1 before the end of the year. And of course, we expected that to happen last year, but the moon landing did not happen. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen, though. That just means the moon landing has now been postponed to either this year or next year. We'll say next. I mean, I think it's gonna be this year, but I don't want the same thing to happen that happened last year. So we'll say this year or next year. I mean, who knows? It could be either one. Probably this year. Most likely, even not waiting until the end of the year, according to Elon Musk's latest prediction. But still, that's a lot to look forward to. And Dogecoin, by the way, a coin I've been talking about a lot on the show, been mentioning, repeatedly endorsing, is now up 18% on the day. A huge day for Dogecoin. Massive spike there as Dogecoin is really starting to take a hold of the market. If you don't know what Dogecoin is, it gives you the ability to use your Dogecoin that's sitting there dormant on Robinhood and actually put use case to it. You can buy coins. You can use it to stake. You can use it for multiple long-term purposes to actually make interest on your Dogecoin. Why have it sitting there at Robinhood when you can make interest on it? That's coming, being developed with this really impressive team behind Dogecoin, who's actually able to create one of the best chains out there in the cryptocurrency market. And Dogecoin is used as gas for this. So you're actually literally using Dogecoin by participating in this. It's pretty dang cool. And you can go right now to dogechain.dog, go into the details of it, and if you want to swap your Dogecoin right now for wrapped Doge, which is always going to be equal to 1 Dogecoin, and the keys to that are actually fully locked up by a lot of different wallets, so it's safe, and you can go and put your money into it, and then After you do that, you'll have wrapped Doge, which then you can use to buy a number of different coins. You can buy Doge chain itself with that. You can buy any other coin you want, and you just simply add it to MetaMask, the Doge chain, and boom, you're in business. It's really easy. You can Google that. It takes maybe 10 minutes max if you're new. If you already are pretty experienced when it comes to crypto, you can probably do it in like a minute or two. It's pretty fast, and you can get yourself some Doge chain there before we do see this next run for the crypto market. The Twitter board of directors, though, I mean, you gotta love it. Elon Musk saying a lot of cool things. He even pinned this to his profile. I mean, if that's not a sign that Twitter's going to be accepting Dogecoin, I don't know what the heck is. It's literally a giant sign. I mean, my goodness, how cool is that? As we also do have this right here, which is my wife posted this, which shows a bunch of different art that she's made over her career. She's one of my favorite people to watch paint. You can see every single art has a message to it, and the message she's trying to get across, she's one of the most important people for this, is the idea that almost all of these environmentalist groups out there are full of BS. They are part of this propaganda wing of relative different political organizations and groups, and they're trying to get you to vote for one side or the other or whatever they want. They want you to vote for extremists here, extremists there. It's all BS. It's all designed to influence you to do things they want, and doesn't actually help the environment at all. To give you a crazy stat, if you look at 1,000 sea turtles dying, and you say, what caused that? The answer is plastic pollution from humans causes around 1,000 sea turtle deaths. Now that sounds pretty bad, right? That is bad. But 250,000 is caused from fishing vessels, more than that. And the stuff they discard into the ocean, which doesn't mean you can't eat fish, right? It just means that a lot of the stuff that they do is very harmful and could easily be avoided. And a lot of the types of fishing they do catch a bunch of other stuff in the nets that is then just killed and thrown away, whether it's on purpose or an accident. So it's very sad to see that. And it's unnecessary. It doesn't actually provide any value to kill that stuff. And so she's helping to bring attention and awareness to a lot of those issues without making it political, which I think is perfect, because it's just about having a cooler, better environment. Who doesn't love the environment? Who doesn't want to be in nature, right? And so I think it's a very cool cause. I'd highly recommend you go follow her. We just started a new account for her. It's at Need More Wildlife. You can see the description right there, so go check it out. I told her I believe she can get to 1,000 followers by the end of the month, and definitely by the end of the year, significantly higher than that. And so if you want to help us achieve that goal, 24 hours now, you can go to at Need Wildlife, Need More Wildlife with all the emojis there, and you can go give her a follow if you actually are interested in nature and having fun with it. As we also saw this, Binance now being ordered to stop Paxos issuing Binance stablecoin. Paxos no longer allowed to do that. Paxos, by the way, is directly integrated with gold. If you buy into Paxos, it's almost entirely based on the gold value. So the main Paxos stablecoin and gold, Paxos Gold, that right there is how you can actually buy gold without having to buy gold itself, because it remains the same value as it. And they've also gone well into other cryptos as well. Paxos USD, they have a whole network. And so now they're being banned, which is a little ridiculous, because basically this is the gold industry trying to stop crypto from taking hold of some of its market share. Now, fortunately, they can't order it globally, and they can't even stop it from happening really just about anywhere. And so they'll try. This is obviously a direct link to marketing and to, or not necessarily marketing, but more so to lobbying from these gold companies. We must avoid that. And I would highly encourage you to look at, if you're considering buying gold, I would highly encourage you to look at, it doesn't have to be Paxos Gold. Look at one of the gold stablecoins instead of gold, because the more you do that, the more we're integrating cryptocurrency and the less we're looking at actual gold. Now, that said, it is backed by gold, so it doesn't necessarily matter that much. It's still better to buy Bitcoin or Dogecoin. Still though, if you must buy gold, it's not the worst thing in the world to have at least a portion of your gold be on the internet, so you don't have to actually risk someone stealing it through breaking into your house or whatever. I mean, still be careful. Like, someone could still steal it if they have your seed phrase, but as long as you keep that safe, you're good. Crypto Super Bowl advertising, absent this year. We watched the Super Bowl, and we did see Elon Musk mentioning with his Dogecoin shirt, Dogecoin, which got seen by 100 million people. That was certainly part of the upward momentum, but no one, for the most part, had a super big notice of it, because it was just on a shirt, and it wouldn't be necessarily known to anyone who doesn't know that represents Dogecoin, what he was wearing, because it was the Dogecoin dog with a hat, but it wasn't like an actual Dogecoin. It didn't say buy Dogecoin on it. If it said buy Dogecoin on it, we could have seen a much bigger spike. Still, though, it's good to see. It helps to encourage. I think we actually got more energy from that when he posted it on Twitter, about it on Twitter, than we did when it actually got shown on the Super Bowl, because most people didn't even, I mean, when I was watching, I'll be completely honest, I didn't notice it right off the bat. It took me, I eventually registered it in my mind after thinking about it a little harder, but if you're not like me and you're looking for that, you're paying attention to it, you're not going to notice it. And so that's just something to keep in mind there, unfortunately. It'll be nice if it was a little bit easier to notice. But we can't fault Elon Musk for that. He's just having fun. He's doing what he wants. Collapsed crypto giant has recovered 5 billion assets. FTX has done that. Now that means there's actually a much larger chance of you being able to get a decent percentage of your money back from the FTX scandal, but do not be too confident yet, because there's still a long way to go before we can actually see customers made whole, and it may not ever be possible. It probably, in fact, won't, especially to make them fully whole. The best we can hope for is to at least get as much as possible for them. So that's underway, that's happening, and I don't think it should take too much longer before we start seeing at least something for, I mean, Sam Bankman-Fried, I don't think he's necessarily the worst human being on the planet. He's done a lot of bad stuff. He deserves all of the condemnation. He caused great damage to the crypto community. But at this point, it's in his best interest to try as much as he can to make customers whole, I believe. Also, to stay out of jail, more importantly. I mean, that's really his motivation here. If he didn't have legal pressure, who knows what he'd do. He'd probably run away with some of the money there. But because of the pressure on him, I think he will do what he can to actually help and hopefully try to redeem himself at least a little, because he'll never redeem himself fully. He should never get another chance in crypto again. Anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I'll see you in the next video.